Hey guys, my name is Ayla, otherwise known as Aru, otherwise known as Sexy Rotini Pasta, and I am making my first ever YouTube art tutorial. I make YouTube videos. Actually, I made YouTube videos. My ass has not posted in a literal, year, but don't even pray on my downfall because I am coming back. Quick reference to that one song, you know? She's back! Anyway, what other way to start off my YouTube art journey with none other than a art tutorial, you know what I'm saying? So I can just give you guys a gist of what you will see in the future, and yeah, this tutorial is about to be straight ass, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna just hop right into the tutorial. We are not wasting any time here. So I started off with a circle, as you can see, and then I drew a line through the circle going down past the circle, and then I drew another line, and then I drew some more lines because this is what I'm doing. I'm making the head, if you cannot tell. But yeah, you just draw some curves and some lines, to be honest, and then it ends up looking like a silly little head. I don't really know how to explain this part. I feel like it should be a little self-explanatory because okay, moving on. I drew some lines through the head. I don't really know what this did. I don't think it really does anything. It really didn't even help me at all. I think a lot of people place them as guidelines, but it didn't even help. So I start off with the eyebrows always. I don't know why. It's just what I do. And then underneath that, I do the eyelids. Starting off with the eyebrows, I feel like it just helps me map out where to place the face parts. Also, I flip the canvas and I liquefy it a bit if it looks like a dookie. So, all right, here's what it looks like after the liquefaction. It didn't do much, but you see what it does. It actually Anyway, the sketch/line art of my drawings is really just the hardest process for me. I don't know why. It's just really the sketch determines how well the overall thing will look. So the sketch has got to be pretty good. So here I erase the silly little guidelines and we got a good head going. Yeah, it's going. Now trying to draw the pupils. Also, if you're wondering what brush I am using for my sketch layer, I am using the Habook brush. I'm sorry. I'll try to link it. I'll try to link the brush. My friend Xanni showed me all of the brushes that I use, so shout out to Xanni. Bro is the GOAT. If it wasn't for my friend Xanni, I literally would not have good brushes at all. But yeah, I will try and link those brushes for anyone that is interested, because I know a lot of people ask what brushes I use. That's a fucking lie. Nobody asks what brushes I use. About 2 people have. So now I'm onto the hair. For what I do for the hair is I draw a bunch of lines. Boy! If you are wondering, I was looking at a reference on Pinterest, and this is the reference. But yeah, here I was literally going So I sort of got sidetracked from the hair and started drawing in the pupils and stuff and fixing up the smile, etc. But yeah, you can just see here what I'm doing. So here go those Ariana Grande type space buns because, you know, we had to draw those. And this is what the hair looks like done. Actually I lied, it isn't done. I added little accessories in the hair, like the little hair clips. And speaking of those little hair clips, I need those in real life. I need that in my hair. So if anyone knows where to get those cute little hair clips, drop down, link bio. I mean, link in comments, please, please. I got so annoyed of redrawing the eyes, I just left them bitches blank. So I finally got to a point where I was like, okay, I actually want to fully reference something now. So my reference was from the manhwa Tamanaguchi, and the character is Kyutong. I don't know how to say that shit. Actually, let me Google it. Okay, so I'm officially stupid, but moving on. Ignore my camera roll, please. Here we go with the reference. I took a lot of the colors from the reference and I just drew that underneath my sketch layer because I did not actually do line art for this one because I don't want to and I don't care, so shut up. TBH, this shit is also self-explanatory. It's literally just coloring in the lines, so we're skipping past this. Okay, so we got we have the base colors, so now this is when I start shading. I just take a darker shade on the little color wheel. My bad. So now I just take that shade and I place it on the nose, the eyes, the mouth, the ears, all of those places where the shadows would be. The shadows. The shadows are in my house right now, please help! Sorry guys, a skinwalker just walked by my window and I got a little nervous, but now I'm drawing in the eyes. I'm drawing it she has very pale, colored eyes. But I temporarily drew over it because it was kind of creeping me the F out. And now I'm drawing the flower that she has on her little jacket and her hair instead, because I am not drawing all that. I'm not drawing a full body picture, buddy. So then at this point, I drew little blushies, set that shit on multiply mode on a different layer, and I just Gaussian blurred that bitch, and then I lowered the opacity a little bit. And clipping masked. And then I added little twinkles in her eye. So at this point, I'm just adding colors on top of colors on top of colors on top of colors. Okay, so the liner of the reference, I realized that it's like sort of lighter and more of a brownish color. So I just duplicated my line art layer, and then I filled it in and I made it brown, and then I lowered the opacity, and that's what I did. Okay, so I finally came to a point where I was like, all right, it's time to render and actually start the real art. So I use the clean sketch brush to blend, and blending is literally going to be your best friend if you want to have a style like this. Also, every time I start rendering, I always end up rendering underneath the eyes first. So that's just what I do. Finally decided it was a good point to start liquefying the canvas by flipping it horizontally and seeing what it looks like flip the other way, because if you don't do that, then your art will literally look like dookie. And now here I go filling in the whites of her eyes because she was starting to look a little demonic as hell, not gonna lie. Alright, so now we are back to adding colors on top of colors on top of colors on top of colors on top of colors. Don't be scared to use different colors other than the ones that you are using, if that makes sense. So use blues, pinks, purples, urples, durples, glurple. Also, going back a bit, something I do with the blushies is I add another layer, I draw the blush, I Gaussian blur it, and then I erase it with little lines, so it has little lines through it, and I think it adds a really cute little look to it. I got inspired by this one artist. I will show their art really quickly. So now I went from this to this. You can see that I just added more details to the eyes, hairs, etc. And here is a playback of my process because we're watching that. Yeah, look at that shit. Oh yeah. Alright, so now I'm at a point where I'm adding accessories to the character. They can be super duper simple. Like, they do not have to even be all that. It just adds so much to the drawing, even if it is just like a simple little necklace, simple little earring. It doesn't even have shading, but I like how it looks. And then I also added more to the jacket. I don't really know what the design looks like on the character because she's at an angle, but I kind of just BS'd it. And now I'm at my favorite part of the drawing, which is adding highlights, and I love adding highlights. That is one thing about me because they just look so they look so good. Alright, so this is like the drawing so far, and at this point I was actually pretty satisfied with the drawing. I didn't really want to add more details, but the hair was sort of bothering me. Very like noob at drawing hair. Like, my ass cannot draw hair. Then I added highlights to the upper lashes because I thought it looked pretty cool. Not gonna lie, look how cool that looks. And then I started detailifying that flower on her big ass head, and then I started detailifying that jacket. Although it looks messy, I don't really care. I like the messy look. I kind of fuck with it. And then I started detailifying the hair. I can't really explain this part because I don't even understand it myself. I just kept adding so many like lines. That's literally the best way to explain it, is just add a bunch of lines. Also, the eyes were sort of scaring me, so I just added more color to them because they were freaking me out. And then I started adding some more pink to her lip. My favorite color to use in art ever is pink. Like, I will always be using the color pink. Thank you very much. So now I'm just cleaning up the drawing, and I sped up this process because I don't really know how to explain it in tutorial language. But overall, it looks pretty much done to me. It looks pretty good. Not to hype up my own drawing, but I feel like if you're an egoista, aka egoist, like in Blue Lock with your own art, you will get significantly better at art. You guys should have seen my art last year, and I hyped that shit up to the max, and it was trash! So just keep telling yourself that your art is good, and then it will become good, honestly. I think it's a phase, but I enjoy adding little rectangles in their eyes. You can see I just added another little mini rectangle, but it's going too fast. So okay, so final touches. I made it more pink with the like little graph thingy. I don't know. And then I erased half of it, so half of it is more pink, and then half of it is normal, if that makes sense. Alright, so oh my F, I'm literally done with my first ever YouTube art tutorial. This is the final result. Here is the quick time lapse. Thank you guys so much for watching. Literally eat that button. I mean, eat that